Welcome back, and if this is your first time watching, my name's Brandon, and I sell men's clothing on eBay. This is day 45 of the What Sold series, where I show you my daily eBay sales. Let's not waste any time, let's jump right into those sales. The first sale of the day was this Nike USC Trojans football jersey in a men's small. It took about 10 days to sell, and it sold for full price, $40 plus shipping. So number 2 was a Patagonia flannel shirt in a men's medium. It sold in 2 days for a best offer of $25 plus shipping. So number 3 was a black clover golf quarter zip, and it was in a men's large. It took 37 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $13 plus shipping. So number 4 was an Under Armour Arizona Diamondbacks polo shirt. It took about 9 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. So number 5 was a Nike Los Angeles Lakers t-shirt. It took about 36 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $8 plus shipping. So number 6 was a FootJoy golf polo in a men's medium. It took about a year to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. Sometimes these ones that are embroidered with specific golf courses that aren't like the most well-known or the most like sought-after golf clubs can take a bit longer, but they still usually sell, and some of them can still sell for a decent amount. Like $20 is pretty good for one of these. So number 7 was a Wrangler Western shirt. It was a pearl snap, and it took about 31 days to sell, and it sold for full price $30 plus shipping, and that was with some flaws on it. It did have a unique print with some bulls and some palm trees on it, so these Wranglers with unique prints always do really well. So number 8 was a Pendleton wool vest, and it was a women's, and it took about 7 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. The Pendleton women's stuff never sells for as much or as quickly as men's stuff, but it can still do pretty well. So number 9 was a Dixon workforce shirt, so it wasn't one of the flannels, and this wasn't one of my ones from the recent buyouts. This is one that I've had for a while, and this one took 5 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $30 plus shipping, and it wasn't a men's 2XL long, so I'm surprised that it took so long to sell, but sometimes just take a little while. Sometimes items just take a little while, even if they are priced pretty accurately and they are listed well. Sometimes they kind of just fall to the side, and all items can't just sell super quickly, so it is what it is. So number 10 was a vintage Walls puffer vest. I think the tag is called like blizzard proof, and this one was down insulated in a good size, men's 44. It took 2 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. It did have some marks and some flaws on it, but no holes, so usually with down stuff you don't hopefully it doesn't have holes, because then the stuffing can start coming out, and then it'll become much less desirable. Sale number 11, and this was the best sale of the day, was this LL Bean wool jacket. I found this when I was sourcing up in Sacramento from a resale shop. I think I paid like $32.50 plus tax on it, and it sold in 4 days for a best offer of $80 plus shipping, so it should be about at least a full double up on that. So number 12 was a vintage Crazy Shirts, and it was one of the B. Kilbin ones. So this B. Kilbin cat is one of the best items to find from the Crazy Shirts. Most of them are from the 80s, and they usually sell pretty well. I got a whole bunch of these a few months back from the flea market, but most of them were pretty distressed, lots of yellowing, holes, stains, whatever. They still sell decently in like the $15 to $30 range. This one sold in 3 months for a best offer of $15 plus shipping, and it was one of the last ones I had listed. So number 13 was a Rain Spooner Dietrich Vares Hawaiian shirt. It took about a month and a half to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $35 plus shipping. I've said this before, but the Dietrich Vares Rain Spooners always seem to do pretty well. This seems like a pretty good print and something a little bit out of the ordinary. So I would normally, I normally pick up the Rain Spooners that are out of the ordinary, and after a while you kind of just get an eye for what you think will do well in them and what you think won't. So number 14 was a Dixon flannel. This was one of the ones from the recent pickups, and it was one of the 4XLs. It took about 6 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $35 plus shipping. These flannels I picked up for an average of $27, so I'm not making a huge amount on these, but some of them I'll make more, some of them I'll make less. I'm just hoping to make an average of $10 profit between all of them. So number 15 was a vintage Callaway golf cardigan, and this was an alpaca one, so I knew it was going to do well, and it also was still new with tags. So I picked this up about 5 months ago from a flea market, and it took 5 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $42 plus shipping. So number 16 was a Lucky Brand thermal Henley shirt. It took 20 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. Sale number 17 was a Rain Spooner Looney Tunes shirt, and it sold in about a month and a half for a best offer of $22 plus shipping. I think this shirt and the next shirt went to the same buyer, so we did make a little deal. I was actually surprised that these Rain Spooner Looney Tunes ones don't do better than they do, especially since like the Mickey Mouse and Disney ones do so well. I kind of expected these to do at least a little bit better, but these aren't the most desirable. Sale number 18 was this other Rain Spooner that went to the same buyer. It also sold for $22 plus shipping. This one was a print that I actually find all the time. It's kind of like this vacation-y print. There's like a guy standing waiting for the boat or the plane boat, whatever it is. But this is a very common one. It doesn't usually sell the best, so I was happy to let it go for 22 bucks. Sale number 19 and the final sale of the day was a pair of Public Rec stretchy work. They're called the Workday pant, but they're like a stretchy chino, and they sold in 21 days for a best offer of $25 plus shipping. That's it for the sales. Let's go ahead and jump to those numbers. On October 15th, we sold 19 items for a total gross sales of $670.10, giving us an average sale price of $35.27. A pretty good day, and I say a little bit above average. The selling costs and net sales are always inaccurate, so let me tell you guys what they really are. The selling costs were $211.24. The breakdown for that is $80.91 in eBay final value fees, $113.24 in shipping labels, and $19.07 in promoted listing fees. 8 of the 19 sales came via promoted listings. I promote all my items at 5%, and I'm happy to pay any extra fees associated with it for those sales. Now, if we take away the selling costs as well as the taxes and fees collected by eBay away from the total gross sales, that'll give us our net sales of $429.37. We still need to take away our cost of goods, and I'm currently using an average cost of goods of $11.11. So for 19 items, that makes our total cost of goods $211.09. If we take that away from the net sales amount, that'll give us our net profit for the day of $218.28. Pretty good day. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for day 46 of the What Sold series. Peace.